Hey, Pearl, how are you today? Hey, and here's Minnie. Look at the pretty flowers I just planted. What? Oh, you're right. I almost forgot. Another day of soul care.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to SoulCARE. And hope you're having a great day today. I am a very nice day. I am wearing light blue. I just did a video for my Instagram and talked about color. And I walked into my closet and shown people where I sit in the quiet. As I've told everybody here about sitting in the quiet, I actually have a video I showed how I sit in the closet. And that's going to be up very soon on Instagram. And also I went into my real closet, my new closet that I have, and showed all the different colored shirts and how we choose different colors each day depending on how we feel. And that's an expression. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. And hopefully you're all doing very well. Hello, April, Bridget, Peter. Thanks, Sweden. Very nice for joining us. Thank you today, Peter. Thank you for that. And Tamara from Idaho Falls. Very nice. Thank you. Pam. Hi, Pam. Hi, Linda. It's going very quickly, the screen, so I just go as fast as I can. Hi, Val. Hello, Louise from Adelaide, South Australia. I've been there in your lovely place. Love the haircut. I got my haircut this weekend. That's right. I got my haircut. It's a 3, they said to me. I said, what is that? They said, it's a 3/8 of an inch. I said, okay, that works. So it was getting a little rough. Got my haircut, and my doggy Pearl got out of her little bowl around. She was around her little collar for her. She had her operation, so she's back to daycare. Daddy's doing well now. It was an intense weekend with her. Hello from Holland, Ingrid. And Elaine from San Jose. Nice to see you. Liz Leader, nice to see you. Hi, Laura Essig. Nice to see you again. Hello, James. How are you? I'm doing great. Holly, thank you. Marlon from Australia. Hello. Hi, Woodstock. Hi there from Valley from Chester. Nice to see you. Oliver from Germany. Hello. Nice to meet you. Hello from Australia. Oh, I love that everyone's coming in from all over. Fantastic. Fantastic. Very happy. I'll be doing a tour in Europe next year. So next October and November, I'll be in Europe. I'll be through Scotland and England and maybe Ireland and maybe Sweden and Switzerland. So we'll let you know about that. That's going to happen. And maybe some TV stuff is coming in too. We'll see. I've been getting very, very, very psychic, even more so. Not going out that much, not touring and traveling. I work a lot with nature now, so it's just everything's just so expansive. It's very interesting. Hi from Cork. Oh, hello from Cork. How are you? My people are from Cork. I've been to Cork. Lovely place. Yes. Very good. This past Friday, I was going to do a VIP event of Spirit Messages, and it was very interesting. This never happened before to me on in the Zoom outlet here. But Spirit said to me around 2:00 in the afternoon, my time, they said, we would like you to wait till the 15th for you to do the 16th, right? The next time, December 16th, to do, there it is, the 16th, to do an evening, not do it tonight. And I was like, why? I said, it's not ready for tonight. We're not ready for tonight. And I was like, okay. And I don't question when the spirit world comes in and says things to me like that because they're in charge. I'm not. And that's rarely ever happened. So I don't know what the story was, but I always got to follow their lead, and I didn't. And I think it's going to be better for the 16th, Friday, the 16th of December. So we do have tickets available. Maybe they want more people than it. I don't know, but it's VIP evening with Spirit Messages Friday, December 16th. And it'll be a very special one. It'll be the end of the year. So it'll be I'm going to tie in some holiday information, some exercises, some methods and ways about getting through the holidays. And I think it'll be enjoyable. So if you'd like to sign up for that, I'd love to have you. I also wanted to mention to you, very interesting. I'm going to be talking tonight on tonight's show, Both Sides Now Beyond with Kelly White. Tonight's show is going to be a repeat of, as a new show, but a discussion we're going to carry on from what we've had before, because it was very, very important. And it's letting go of the old patterns, old behaviors, and breaking patterns. We can never get told enough about that. And I think that Once you have the information that's presented to you, you can make up your mind, your choice of how you're going to live your life. And Kelly and I have some wonderful tips, exercises, tips, insights on letting go of the past and how to breaking patterns and behaviors that no longer fit you. And I think one of the hardest things in life, in this human lifetime, is to be born in a family in a certain way and with certain belief systems and certain patterns, and you're in a certain space there in your birthright. You're a middle child, a last child, beginning child, and every family has this dynamic, right? So you have a certain dynamic to walk into, and belief system, whether it's a belief in religion, not religion, or whatever it might be, the values. And it seems that, of course, as we get older, things change, and we all do change. And I think we have the realization that we're souls constantly transforming. And if we allow ourselves to grow and expand, we can. But if we hold on to the past and old behaviors and old ways of being, we'll never be satisfied. We'll never be happy because life is about movement and growth. And you've come back onto this earth, this school, soul school earth, to grow, not to be stuck and not to be a victim. And too many people live in fear, and fear equals victimhood, and fear is a false ego appearing real. And I think tonight's show is very valuable for a lot of people, whether it's for you directly or someone you know. You might be able to take notes, and some information might be very, very helpful for friends of yours, people that you know, because I think it's important that we every once in a while reevaluate our lives and see what we're holding on to. Is it benefiting us? Is it making us grow and expand? Or is it holding us back? Is it forcing us not to grow? Are we stuck in a corner? Are we stuck in a box? And I remember when I first started doing mediumship almost 40 years ago, that the world really wasn't open to it like it is today. And it was an interesting mindset back then. So things have changed a little bit too much for, I think. But it's always good to try something new, I think. I think here's a place to do it, to try it. I was talking to a friend over the weekend, and she's 82 years old. And we talked about everything. And I said to her, "So what do you think about death? Are you looking forward to it? What's your thoughts about that? We've never talked about it." And she's known me for close to, gosh, for 35 years. And she said, "Well, I don't dwell on it. I know that we go on. And I think, I think about it, but I don't really obsess about it." I said, "Oh, yeah." And she goes, "Well, what do you think?" And I said, "Well, I look forward to it." I said, "I'm already planning on the reception, who's going to be there, what kind of stuff we're going to have, the music we're going to have there, on the other side, by the way, not here, on the other side." But it's something to look forward to. It's our celebration of going back home. And I think that if you live a good life on this earth and you do the best you can, that's all it's asked of us. If you treat another person in a good way, not hurt them, you'll have nothing to worry about. But I think we cannot forget also that we have to treat ourselves right, that we have to love ourselves. Because I think one of the hardest things to do, or the experiences that I've had, been shown and felt in my work as a medium, is that the loved one that comes in, many times will talk to their loved one on the earth and say, "I'm sorry I treated you a certain way, but I wish I'd loved myself more. I would have treated you better, but I didn't appreciate myself. And I believed what other people thought about me, and instead of believing in myself." So a lot of that wisdom, if we could get it while we're still alive here and start living that way, our lives certainly would change, and everybody's life that we touch would also change. So anyway, please tune in tonight's show. I think it'll be very valuable for you and friends of yours. And I just know it will be. So there's a little psychic work there. That's at 6 o'clock tonight. How to move on, let go of old patterns, behaviors, because they're over, they're finished. I just finished building a closet in my house, my clothes. And so a lot of clothes, I used to work a lot, as you guys know, on tour, and a lot of shirts and different things and suits. And I no longer need those. Those are fulfilled. That fulfilled that time in my life. And it's time to move on. So it's time to give them away to someone else who can use that energy of those clothing. And that's the way I think life is always changing, always moving. And we got to be willing to transform and do the work. We can't just hear about it. We got to do it. We're here to work. Okay. Uh, okay, let me open up my screen so I can see larger. There you go. There we are. Kremjusen Dar, great name. I just purchased your online media course. I'm so excited. Good. Very good. Very, very good, sweetheart. Very good. I'm glad to hear that, Kramer. Very excellent. Go slow. My advice is go slow, one step at a time. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of knowledge, a lot of information to digest. So don't try to get it all at once. Just do it slowly. Okay. Good luck. Very good. Congratulations. Amanda, hi. I'm desperate to find a book from the 90s you wrote. You gave an instruction to make a memory with a loved one gone. Does that make sense? No. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm desperate to find a book. Don't be desperate. We'll find it. 90s that you wrote. You gave an instruction to make a memory with a loved one gone. Huh. I don't know what that means, but Amanda, I'll make a note to talk about that tonight. How's that on tonight's show? It could. I've written 14 books, so it could be what I can't remember which one it is. Could be healing grief. I don't know offhand, but I'll talk about that tonight. Make a memory. How's that? Make a memory. I'm also doing tomorrow a talk on healing parents heal, helping parents heal. It's an organization of parents who lose children, helping parents heal. And it's going to be, I'm going to talk tomorrow night. And you can go on their website and find out about that. I'm going to talk about children, of course, obviously, and the book Growing Up in Heaven that I wrote about children. So that'll be interesting if you're interested in that, helping parents heal tomorrow night. Okay, and tonight I'll talk about making a memory of a loved one. Okay, do that tonight. Leslie, hello from Canada. Hello. Always learn so much from you, and the messages are inspiring. Thank you. Inspiring means in spirit. So when we open ourselves up, we get inspired. Download. How can you talk about the ability? How can you talk about the ability to channel? Thanks. Well, I wouldn't get caught up in all the wording of it, the semantics of it. Just realize that channeling is like if you run your water faucet, you're channeling water, right? Water's coming through. So the vessel, which you are, is just bringing in energy, and you bring in energy all the time. We're always bringing in energy. Right now, as we're sitting here, energy's coming in, going out, in and going out. So you're bringing, you're channeling. The word channeling, yeah, it's so much stuff around it. I'm just bringing in, if you will, opening up to, and it's really opening up your mind. Excuse me, opening up your mind, opening up your heart to that higher level of awareness, and let it. If you want to say, we can do it. I'll talk about the analogy of the faucet. Sometimes you have a faucet that drip, drip. Maybe that can be your focus. That you can be constantly receiving drips of wisdom from that. How's that? And each drip that you receive should be something that inspires or expands you. Or maybe it is you set up the intention that each droplet that comes in is a droplet from God, and it's not going to be preconceived. Something you know. Maybe it's something you don't know. Something new about yourself or about the world with each drop. And those drops can be there whenever you want to sit and just receive them. How's that? Why do you do that? Don't make it a big deal as far as make it a work thing. You have to do it at this time. For that, just when you feel you want to be inspired, imagine a faucet with a drip, and you'll get that. I like that. Droplets of God. There you go. Just for you. Anybody else wants to try it? Okay. Hi, Lisa. Brilliant. We were talking about this yesterday. Can't wait to see you and Kelly. Yeah, it's a real important one, the letting go of the past. I talk about almost every day with a lot of people about letting go of your past. And so many people live in their past. And it does lead to victimhood because that becomes your reality. And the payoff is, there's always a payoff. There's always a story and a payoff. And it could be that you're always seen as a victim, so people feel sorry for you. So you like them to feel sorry for you, or your family feels sorry for you. And it gets to be a lonely place being a victim. And it's not the way we should be. We should be people that are always growing, inspiring, leading to something, learning something new every day, inspiring others every day, being nice to people every day. You have to. I mean, you really should. It's the way you want people to treat you right. It's a golden rule, and we're all here to help each other, no matter what the conditions are in this world. And remember that there are souls of all different levels. So you can have all different types of realities here. But for you personally, then that's who you're responsible for is yourself. First and foremost, you're responsible for yourself. Remember that, right? So you first got to take care of this and take care of that. So treat yourself with love, kindness, and compassion. and you have nothing to be afraid of. Yeah, you really don't. The only thing to be fearful of is, like Roosevelt said, fear itself, because fear is a human emotion. It's not spiritual. It's what we learn to be afraid. We learn that. So there's a wonderful song from Sunday in the Park with George, a Broadway musical written by Stephen Sondheim years ago. Sunday in the Park with George, and I just heard it this weekend. A song called "Move On." And it's inspiring. It's incredible, and it talks about what you have to share with the world, and seeing the light and the color and the shape of things. And the artist says, "Well, they've seen it all," and the person says, "No, not by you. You have to have your imprint in the world, and that's important for all of you because your imprint is important. You came here not in a whim. Each one of us came here for a very specific reason. We might not be aware of what that reason is, and we might feel like, oh, we're just fitting in. It's not true. Each of us are like stars, unique, or like I often say, snowflakes. Each snowflake is a different shape, different, made up of different material. It's so important that we all realize that we are all particles of each other. We're all particles of each other, and without one, we're not whole. So we've got to help each other out by being the best we can be. Okay. I go on, don't I? Suzanne, hi. So good to see you, James at Prague. Thank you. You're looking healthy. Thank you. I'm feeling healthy. Wish you a wonderful holiday season. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. Thank you. Wishing you and your family a wonderful holiday season as well, and everybody here. I'm going to be spending it with Pearl because it'll be her first Christmas, and Daddy has to learn how to discipline himself because Daddy has her sleeping on the bed. That's the worst thing I could do. So I'm going to start putting her back in her crate at night, and it's going to be hard, but I have to do that because I'm a sucker. So yeah, I have to do that. Amber, hi. I don't know if I'm living from fear, probably. How can I progress if I don't know what I'm scared of? Wow, that's good, Amber. Well, first, definitely come to tonight's show, please. What are you afraid of? Make a list of things you're afraid of. What are you fearful of? What are you afraid of? Do you concern yourself with what people think of you? Are you fearful of that? What do the people really think of you? What are you afraid of? So first, you have to, in order to heal, the first step in healing, I realize I speak very quickly. The first, sorry, I'm from New York. The first step in healing is awareness. So you first have to become aware of what you might fear. Um, and if we go through life on a daily basis, just going through the routine of life, we're not going to have time to stop and look inside. Or if we have distractions. Good friend of mine many years ago said, I want you to write this word down and put it where you can see it. And that's okay. She said the word is distractions. So I wrote it down and I put it in my mirror. And it has helped me so much because what am I being distracted about? When we get into distractions, they distract us from truth. They hold us back from what we're looking inside ourselves, thinking about what we're going to do within ourselves. So distraction. So first become aware of it. Make a list of 5 to 10 things you're fearful of. And next, why? And definitely tune in tonight, Amber. Thank you. Hi, Lori. My sister has been really nasty for most of my life. Oh, you chose that, huh? But I've always been so nice to her. That's the way you should be. Maybe you're teaching her to be nice. I've tried to help her, but she can't accept me. I don't understand why. Okay, so that's interesting, Lori. I talked to Kelly this morning about this. So this is very basic. You're going to find this in the work you do, Lori. Number one, you cannot have unrealistic expectations. And the reason I say that is because if we behave a certain way, especially a family member, that has happened to me as well. You give so much, you're helping them in some way, and you expect at least they could come back and help you or say thank you or do something, but they don't. And I often, for many years, wondered why. And Kelly was the one who told me why. And she said, James, there are souls here of all different levels. I said, yes. And she said, this person that you have these expectations for, they're limited. They don't understand it. They don't get it. They're not aware of that's not the way to behave. And that's true with you, Lori. So many times we're around people, many times in families too, as soul groups that we enter into are our greatest teachers. So what you have to do with this is just be nice to yourself, expect nothing back, and just be kind. That's all. Don't expect her to be kind because maybe she doesn't know how to be kind. And if you're pushing her to be kind, it just makes it more it upsets the apple cart because she doesn't know. But if you show her how to be kind just by doing what you do and being yourself, that will help. That would be the beginning. But have no unrealistic expectations. I hope it helped, Lori. Have a good holiday. Karen Sweeney. Hi. I truly get excited for Mondays with SoulCARE. Thank you. And Kelly White in the evening. So let's listen to your words. Thank you, Karen. And you'll be happy to know, Karen, and everybody else, that starting in January, I'm going to do Thursday, I'm going to do SoulCARE. And each Thursday is going to be a topic. So we're going to do SoulCARE Monday, just like this. But then on Thursdays, it'll be a topic. And many of the things that I cover in my school will be on that too. So you'll enjoy Thursdays. And I'm trying to come up with a title, SoulCARE something. So it'll be Thursdays, same time. So we'll let you guys know. Make sure you sign up my email if you haven't. Okay. Hi, Susan. Can you talk about people who go to the other side on the same day they were born? Now, that's really an interesting one, isn't it, Susan? Very, very interesting. That's the first question I've never been asked that before. But isn't that interesting? I wish I had all the answers, but of course I don't, because I'm here on this human level as well. But I just know there are no accidents, and I know that there's a time to be born and a time to die, a time to come in, a time to go out, and for various reasons. I don't know what that reason is. I just know that there are certain exit points in life that we can go, but predestined, predetermined time to be born. The soul comes at a certain particular time. I think a lot has to do also with astrologically what's going on, because in this galaxy, with these planets we have here, there's a certain connection, association, interaction with the organs of the body and so forth. And of course, the same soul groups too, family, friends, they have to be born at a certain time for certain lessons to happen. And I think when we leave, there's a moment to leave. I think there's a moment to go. I don't know why the same day. It's pretty interesting. I don't know. I wish I did. If you find out, let me know. Thanks. Martin May, hi, sweetie. Do soul pets that did pass long time ago, reincarnated a few years later, feel mine could have been? Well, I don't look at it like just like linear like that, Martin. I think you have to open yourself up a little bit. Remember that just 20 to 30% of the soul is in the body here, but 70 to 80% is outside of the box, outside of the physical realm. So this is only part of our soul, and we reconnect with that fullness of our soul when we leave this physical dimension. And there's aspects of that kitty cat of your doggy, whatever, that will just like you is already reincarnated in different places or spaces or galaxies, right? And there's the personality, the part of the soul that you experience this particular lifetime with, that you experience, well, you'll connect again when you go over. So you came back, that those aspects of those souls come back together as soul group. So I think that the best way to put it is aspects of the soul. And I should write a book about that. But there are various aspects of the soul that will be joined, like with an affinity together, that experiences lifetimes together. And there are other parts of our soul aspects that experience life somewhere else. And I think that simultaneously that happens. I know it sounds very strange, because it's so hard to understand at this level. But that's where I would like to get more into quantum physics. And I think Albert Einstein was there about it. I think he was a very incredible metaphysician. And I think he knew more about it, the quantum fields and so forth. There's so much around us that we don't see. It's so outside the human spectrum. Anything is possible, I think. I think anything is possible. I just wish humans would treat each other better. That's all. Okay. Thanks. I'm a hospice nurse. Good for you, Maria. Hospice nurse. Good for you. And many who have no faith struggle at the end of life. And listen and go legacy projects. Any suggestions? Do legacy projects. I don't know what legacy projects is, Maria, but let me just say, as a hospice nurse, it's really great work. Thank you, because we need more. And end of life doulas, we need more. I've been very fortunate to help several people over, and at the end of their life. And one, of course, I've talked about before is Deborah Ford, and who's an amazing person. And I would say this. I used to work also at hospitals. I worked 5 years at a hospital helping people. At the end of life, I think whether you have a week left, 2 weeks left, It's to calm them down. It's really calm them down because the spirit knows. The spirit will go. It's a physical part of us, and many times I believe the soul goes in and out of the body, getting it prepared. Many times, either months or weeks before the person that's passing, especially if they're in a hospice, will begin to be aware of of spirit people in their room. They'll be aware of them. I think it's important that someone sit with them as yourself as a hospice and talk to them about their loved ones that have passed over. So, what did your mom look like? What did your mom used to do? What did your father used to do? And try to get their mind to think about those loved ones. And what I talk about with helping people pass, again, depends upon their background, but generally speaking, I do talk about the past relative, talk about their breathing, their breath, and like a feather going in and going out, or the waves. And I take them to imagination. Let's go on a imagination. Let's go see a movie together, and talk to them. Even if their eyes are closed, they'll hear you. And I bring them to a beach, and we just float in the water and just make things very easy for them, right? And it's a lovely place. Or you can also talk about some of their favorite memories if they're cognizant enough to do that. You can just tell me about some of your favorite memories you had. Oh, you had a birthday party. What was that like? Bring in happy thoughts and memories to them, and also helping them remember people that have passed. Who are you have to say anything about other waiting for you? So you just let their mind have that space of becoming aware of that person because they'll be seeing them soon. And the breath really is great. I did it I do a lot with a feather. She loves a feather blowing in, blowing out, and the feather just rises. Death is so natural. It happens so easily. And it is just a breath away, that people expect such a big like pain or something. It's nothing at all like that. It's quite the opposite. Um, if the bomb went off right now, we'd be sitting here just like this saying, "What happened? Oh, we're dead." It's nothing, and it's nothing that dramatic. It really isn't. It's very natural. Very natural. Good work. Hi, Carlene. I feel like I'm never going to understand what my purpose here is. Why is that, Carlene? I have a back injury. Why is that, Carlene? And can't work. Why is that? So I started painting kindness rocks, leaving them around for random people to find. That's great. It could be that, of course, it could be the purpose. So, of course, it could be. So, Carlene, you have to make it a choice of getting involved with the art of self-discovery. Are you willing to go deep and find out who you are, what you're here for, and really start working on yourself? Because that's what it sounds like you have to do, is get really to know yourself. You have to know yourself. It sounds like you don't know who you are. What are your passions? What are you passionate about? There's going to be a list of. I used to do some workshops with people, but list your passions, 5 passions you have, and what would you want to do in those passions. And if you're worried about money or living arrangements, what would you do? Write those down, and then try to find a way. Many times, and I can't say, I'm not a doctor, I can't say, but many times back injuries are associated with not feeling secure in your word and who you are, or being supported. So you have to look at all that sort of stuff. But there's a great class, I talked about it before, 28-day transformation course I have, which has gotten a lot of great results from people who are stuck. And it sounds like you're stuck. So I'd suggest that. And it also would suggest a tonight's show for you. I think it'd be good. Okay. Good luck, Colleen. Thanks for spreading the love. Okay. Hi, Michelle. Hi, James. Our past loved ones around us more so at Christmas time. I was going to talk about that. I've done your mediumship one course and I'm finding more spirit activity this time of year. What are your thoughts on this? So, Michelle, good question. Number one, yes, they are around us more, it seems, at the holiday times because we're thinking of them more. But number two, a very important thing is this. When we activate the mind to the possibility that, well, the spirit people are all around us, which they are, the realms are all around us, and we open up that mind, at that space of the mind, that possibility, then they will be able to come closer to you, and you'll be able to be aware of them. As you know from my mediumship one course, the exercise of opening up your mind now has your mind expanded to spaces and places that are around you, and possibilities of spirit who come in around you in their own time, not in our time, but they come to you. We don't go to them, they come to us. So yes, as you opened up your mind more, which I'm very proud you took that course, you'll be able to receive them more. That's the best way to say it, receive them. We don't go looking for them as mediums, we receive them. And around the holiday time, it's very important to realize they're around us more. And sometimes I suggest people put in an extra place setting for them, or put on a memory of them, or I don't know, just talk to them in the air, um, buy them a present, however you want to do. But I usually will go through my whole family and say hello to everybody who's passed. And I'll ask them what they're doing over there at this time. And many times we say we're visiting families. That's interesting. They're visiting families, and we're help. It's really interesting. Sometimes they've said to me in the past, so what are you guys doing over there right now? Well, some of us are visiting families. Well, families you knew? No, we didn't know them on the earth, but we're helping those loved ones. Where they're helping them, helping other spirits to support them to trying to get through to their families. Uh, it's how they explain it, to bring more energy into that group, and bring up the energy around festival time. So they talk about doing that. There are many different things to do. You don't, there's a great book called "In the World's Unseen" by Anthony Borgia, Life in the World Unseen. It's a very, very good book. It's out of print, but you can get it on Amazon, I believe. Life in the World Unseen. And it was done by a minister, I believe, who passed over and felt very guilty that he'd been preaching the wrong thing for years. And he wanted to make sure that he got it right. So he channeled, came through a medium, and talks all about the other side, what the missions and jobs and careers are over there, and how they live their lives there, and how they all come back to. Many times we'll check in all the time, but as they say, it's a very busy world over there. They don't just sit around in clouds. He goes, that's fiction. One thing he describes in the book I found fascinating was, he said, you could imagine that we'd walk down the street, tree line street, and that there would be a friend right there, the house of a friend of yours, and you say hello, and they say hello, and you'd have some flowers in your hands, and you throw them flowers, and the flowers reach that person's, let's say, their porch, their house, and the flowers will fall into the pattern of the porch and make it even more beautiful. So they talk about magic like that, where it's like the other side. You can just imagine, beautiful place to go. So good. So there we go. Um, let's see, anything else? Let's see. I'm reading your book, Unfinished Business. Understand the connectedness from all the readings you do and how you impact others. Thank you. I've also read Healing Grief, which is very helpful when I became a widow. I think it's one of the best books I've written on grief. I really do. You're now writing about grief. Fantastic. And your journey and how our spiritual side strengthens us. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Leslie. I'm very happy the book helped you. We don't, again, we don't pick this journey. Um, it just doesn't happen to us. We come back with this journey. We come back with these classes to take, and some are learning about grief. Some are learning to realize what death is. Going through that's a hard one, but it's an important one, and it can make us greater people, and those all around us greater. So thank you for sharing your story. Dawn, hi Dawn. Do our loved ones on the other side get to be with our higher self and connect with us on that level? Yes, of course they do. Yes, and they do indeed, very much so. And many times we'll have dreams of them, and that's because you're over there, and your conscious mind, the earth mind, will recall some of that. So yes, it's very true. That's why we never lose them. Jane Goodwin, is there a truth to when we are very ill, our soul can float above us like a balloon? My sister has cancer, says she has felt this. Yes, that is very, very true. We leave our bodies every night, Janice. We leave our body every night, and we float outside our body. We can actually train ourselves to leave the body. In astral traveling, we can learn that. There's ways of learning how to leave the body. And when someone's very ill, many times they go in and out. When someone else has dementia, comas, they usually go in and out of the body quite a bit. I used to do that when I was a boy. I used to have a fever as a little boy, and I used to have mumps, and I had the mumps, and I had chickenpox when I was a little kid. And I remember I used to float over the body all the time. And I used to it was like a balloon, because there's a tether that's connected from that soul body to the physical body, and it's called the silver cord, and it's right, believe it or not, the belly button is where it's connected. So we float all the time. I remember as a kid, I used to like to daydream, which also means leaving the body. So yes, very common, Jane. Thanks. Hi, Heidi. Hi, James. What does it mean when you make eye contact with a stranger and there's an immediate familiarity? Just curious about your thoughts. I have had this happen a few times in my life, and it has caught me off guard, and I'm almost rendered speechless. The energy is just very loving and familiar. Very good, Heidi. I think a lot of us are familiar with that experience. when you look to someone's eyes and there's a sense of familiarity, you know them. I believe personally it's past life, other lifetimes that your souls have connected. My best friend Marianne was my friend of 35 years, the first person I met in Los Angeles when I moved here many years ago. I was delivering mail in this production office, and I handed her mail, and she looked at my eyes, looked into her eyes, and said, "Oh, hi, I know you. Oh, I know you." And it's just a familiarity you have with certain people. I think it happens. Hmm. I think it happens more than not. I think that we meet a lot of people that we've met before. They might not be that sense of familiarity immediately, but there's definitely a sense we've been with them before, especially those are close friends of yours, the ones you've had experiences with. I think we've had definitely all been together before. Yeah, but I love that feeling too, that familiarity. I've had that recently with some people, and you feel warm, you feel at home. Yeah, it feels comfortable. Very good. Hi, Gurney. I was going to just read yours. How funny. Dear James, all the way from South Africa. God bless you. Thank you. My mother told her friends 2 months before her passing that she's going to die. She got COVID and passed away exactly 2 months later. She must be very psychic, very in tune. This week, a year ago, I dreamed I saw her passing the night she moved on. Well, it runs in the family, obviously. I saw her in my dream regressing from 90 years, 60, 70. She stopped at about 35. That's what happens. Since she passed over, I feel a presence and unconditional love always with me. See, whenever I think of her dressed in her favorite, that's exactly what happens. We tend to go back to the prime of our life. Many times, people in 30s, late 20s, 30s, that we love the most. We have the right to do that. And many times when we pass over, we'll be dressed in beautiful clothing that we love. And how did that happen? And spirit people say, "Oh, I dressed you with my thoughts. It's all done through thought. I knew you'd like that." And many times, I mentioned this before, but many times, um, not all the time, because every passing is so different, depending on the person's mindset. They sometimes will find that they feel like they're in their mother's house that they grew up in, and it looks exactly the same as it did then. And they do that sometimes so the people can acclimate much easier to the new way of life. So it's all different ways of passing over, based, of course, on your belief systems. So there you go. It's interesting. I mean, I look forward to the time that's going to happen. I can't tell you. It sounds kind of strange, but yeah, I just the more I grow older, I realize this is such an illusion. This world. It's and the values we give things, the importance we give things. It's just we shouldn't. We really should give so many things that aren't that important importance. So tonight I'll be. Please join me tonight. I'll be with Kelly White, and we're going to talk about moving on and letting go of patterns, old patterns, and past behaviors, and have a new life. It's a good time to do it. Perfect astrologically wise, and that's tonight. And then VIP Evening of Spirit is on Friday, December 16th. So you can sign up at eventbrite.com in your events. And thank you, everybody, and have a great rest of your day. And hope to see you tonight. Okay, bye bye.